Good day, I'm Andrea Chisholm and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, June 10. The Ministry of Health has unveiled a 5-point plan to prepare for any possible introduction of the Zika virus into Jamaica. At a JIS think tank Wednesday morning, medical entomologist Shireen Huntley-Jones said the Health Ministry would be using vector management, social mobilization, intersectoral collaboration, capacity building and legislative capacity to prevent or control the Zika virus. It is spread by the Aedes aegypti mosquito, which also transmits chikungunya and dengue fever. That mosquito breeds around the home and other places where people converge. So the ministry is calling for increased vigilance and participation in communities across the island.
As persons take action and search their environments to identify breeding sites, that you're looking at large containers, but you're also looking at some very small places that the mosquito can be hiding.
The Health Ministry has also developed a drum cover for 45 to 55-gallon drums, which have been identified as the main breeding site for mosquitoes.
This is what we want to roll out, introduce to special or high-risk communities for usage in terms of covering up those 45-gallon drums. Because we believe once we deal with the breeding in the 45, 55-gallon drums, we would have significantly reduced the Aedes aegypti population and then reduced the risk for transmission.
There are no reported cases of the virus on the island, but the ministry officials are closely following one reported case in the Dominican Republic. In the meantime, the Health Ministry's Permanent Secretary, Dr. Kevin Harvey, says the team is working closely with parish councils to control the mosquito population. He says fogging will be done especially in high-risk areas. On Tuesday, the ministry released a fogging schedule for Kingston and St. Andrew from June 9 to 20. For the rest of this week, fogging teams will be in the communities of Pembroke Hall, Three Oaks, Glendale, Arcadia, Allardyce, Aylsham, Charlton, Orange Grove, Waterworks and Stillwell Road. During the same period, ULV sprayer teams will be in St. Benedict's or Caribbean Terrace, Cherry Gardens, Norbrook, Tucker Avenue, Long Mountain and Beverly Hills. The operation resumes on Monday, June 15 in other corporate area communities. The Transport and Works Ministry has launched new drainage guidelines for building and subdivision proposals. Portfolio Minister Dr. Omar Davies says it's an important part of government's responsibility to ensure the establishment and maintenance of safe and reliable infrastructure for both public and private sector developments.
We wish to ensure that designs for building and subdivision developments incorporate appropriate calculations for stormwater drainage in order to reduce the risk of disasters caused by flooding.
He says the new guidelines should reduce the number of development applications that are refused or returned by the authorities due to insufficient drainage infrastructure information. Education Minister Reverend Ronald Thwaites has pledged his ministry's support to help the Bustamante High School in Clarendon with its infrastructure. He was speaking while on a recent tour of some schools in the parish.
You spoke of the need for 2 classrooms, and I would like to say to you that the Ministry of Education will do everything possible that by next year this time, you have those 2 classrooms.
The minister also pledged to offer infrastructural aid for the other schools visited on the tour, Fogo Road High, Watsonton Primary and Rosewell Primary. And finally, Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller began her formal engagements in Belgium Wednesday morning with a caucus meeting of CARICOM heads at the Office of Eastern Caribbean States. The Prime Minister is in the European country to attend the 2015 EU CELAC Summit, which is taking place on June 10 and 11. On Wednesday, Mrs. Simpson-Miller also participated in the opening ceremony for the summit and attended the first plenary session. Tomorrow, she is scheduled to discuss international issues and development during a retreat of the heads of government of EU and the CELAC. Later in the day, the Prime Minister will attend a high-level meeting of EU and CARIFORUM heads. An estimated 61 heads of government are participating in the EU CELAC summit. Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller left the island on Sunday and returns on June 13. Until then, Minister of Water, Land Environment and Climate Change Robert Pickersgill is in charge of the government. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Thank you for watching.